coming from there for this mental health. How is life going to be after Dr. Shantalakshmi is saying ching chang vaccine? Yeah, they may well call that. Somebody said, yeah, so how are we going to, what is life going to be after coronavirus? That means this can happen again. For the first time, the world that was sitting on our ivory towers, sitting in our towers, sitting in our expensive vehicles, going to air-conditioned malls, thinking only about this, something in via WhatsApp, something in social media, completely not thinking about the earth, not thinking about animals, not thinking about each other. That world has now been changed. We need to think about each other. We need to think, economically, there's a 26 to 28 trillion dollar deficit. There's just no money anywhere. People will start going for simplicity. Now in this lockdown, if you could manage in a small place very comfortably, then why can't you do it later? Why should we then relapse to a high-flying kind of lifestyle? More and more people will go vegetarian. The vegetarians will go vegan. There's going to be a lot of simple, people are going to eat less often. People are going to eat less often outside. Okay, as soon as the restaurants open, there'll be a mad rush, but after that things will settle. And a realization that we will need to be happy internally, whatever happens to us on the outside, and that your pay packet and how rich you are, or how big your house is, or how big your car is, doesn't matter anymore, or which job you're holding, whether you're a collector or whether you're a corporation worker. If you get COVID-19, you're gone. That kind of feeling will happen to the world. Now this feeling, mental feeling, and I read a lot of data on that, happened after the Second World War. It happened after the First World War, especially because immediately after the First World War, this vaccine came in. This influenza came in. The vaccine came in 95 years later, but influenza came in and killed 50 million people, and the whole world thought differently. They thought much simpler. Hello to Dr. Jayanti too, and to Louisa, and to Jack Marvell. So now I'm going to tell you, supposing you have an option. You have an option that you can think simplistically, think very, Buddhist. 2,500 years ago, the Buddha said, happiness does not come from anything external. It doesn't come from having a pretty wife or a wonderful car or wonderful kids or wonderful friends or wonderful house or whatever. Happiness is still internal. It's a fact that we need to digest at this point of time. That internally, he was talking about that serotonin that is being released internally, that parent that he was talking about. And now, in this last segment, I'm going to take you all with me to a favorite poem of mine. This was written about 2,450 years ago. This was written by a Tamil poet. His name was Kaniyan Punkundran. Kaniyan is a mathematician. Punkundran was actually his name. He was probably an astronomer and a mathematician. And he wrote a beautiful poem that is supposed to be the height of Sangam literature. The Sangam period was from 300 BC to 300 AD. So from 2000 to 2300 years ago. And in the peak of the Sangam literature is this one song in one of the Sangam pieces called Purananuru. So what he says is, wherever you go, everybody is your friend. Yadum Ure, Yavarum Kelir. Pathina from India, we are exporting HCQ. Indian pharmacies like Cipla are exporting HCQ to America. China, of course, is exporting to the whole world. Relief workers are going from all over. You heard, I just told you about how people from UP and Haryana and Bihar went all the way and they served in Palsana. And the Palsana, the Rajasthani people looked after them. Did they have any difference? You're from the north, I'm from the south. Nothing. Yadum Mure. Every land is my land. Yavarum Kelir. Everyone is my family member. Kelir is actually family member. This poem was quoted repeatedly by Narendra Modi ji, and it used to be the favorite poem of Abdul Kalam. You talked about people from, I find sometimes, we are from India, from Chennai, and we are now here in the United Arab Emirates, and we go to, from Dubai, we go to, and we serve here, and the people whom we see are Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, people from Uganda, Kenya. Yadum Mure, Yavarum Kelir. Remember, more than 2000 years ago, our Tamil poets have said, "Teedum nandrum pirar taravara." The bad or the good that happens to you doesn't happen because of somebody else. It happens because of you. In this case, if you are not careful with your hands, or you don't wear your mask, you don't do social distancing, some bad thing may happen to you. There is a deeper philosophical meaning that this happens to us. All the bad things that happen to good people, they happen because of a previous karma. The Westerners now completely believe in karma. America and UK are sold in karma. So Teedum Nandrum Pirardanavara. It's not from others. Again, I would like to quote another favorite author of mine called Marcus Aurelius, great Roman emperor, but who lived in a tent, and in war he kept on writing, called Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. He founded a form of school of philosophy called Stoicism, to be stoic. என்னன்னாலும் பரவாயில்ல, கொரோனா வருதா பார்த்துப்போம், ஐயோ second wave is coming, third wave. Don't be like that. That's what this poem is supposed to be, the pinnacle of Stoicism. And I will read it out to you. Teedum nandrum pirar taravara. Then it says, Nodalum tadidalum avattor anna. Nodal is pain. Tadidal is a relief from pain. Whether you get corona and then you get relief, or somebody whom you know gets that disease and then they become all right. That also is not because of other people. It is always linked to a man's own, what they now call karmic DNA. Please carry home that. Karmic DNA. Nodalum tadidalum avattor anna. Then he says, Sadalum puduvadandri. Around us, death is happening. 200,000 people have died in corona. It's almost like this was written for corona. And everybody says this is the peak of Tamil literature. What? Stoicism. Sadalum pudivadandri. That means, actually original is Sadalum puduvadandri. That means death is not a new thing to us. All around us we see death. Those days there were fights between Cholas and Seras and Pandyas. Now we are seeing fights between coronavirus and human beings. So we are all not new to death. Sadalum puduvadandri. Vardal, that is to live. Inidu ena magindadandrum ilame. We are not jumping up and down and saying, I'm like this, I'm like that. You may get corona and you may go. Anything can happen to anybody. Therefore, our people are saying, so we are not new to death. Neither are we going to jump up and down because we are living life nicely, because we don't know what may happen tomorrow. And mentally, we are ready that anything may happen at any time. And then he says, Munivin innadendum ilame. That means we will not give up everything and say, oh my God, I'm going to die. This whole place is going to be wrecked. We will not say that also. We will stand, and we will fight through life. We will go one day after another and do what we need to in life. And that is my little, whatever little bit I can influence you and social media. This is what I would say. And then he says, Minnodu Vanam Tantuli Talayanadu. In the sky, Minnodu, along with lightning in the sky, when one single drop of one tantuli anadu, cool drop of rain is formed, it comes down. Kal porudu irangum mallal peri aatru. It comes down like that, and the rain becomes a huge rushing torrent of life. That's a torrent of life. In that torrent of life, neervadi paduvum punai pola aaruyir murayvadi paduvum. Just ஒரு மிதவை, ஒரு தெப்பம், one little raft, circular raft, the way that runs down the river. Neervadi paduvum. Can the raft decide where it can go? This is kal porudhu irangum mallal periyatru. Kal porudhu means kalla idichittu on rushing torrent of rain. Mallal periyatru. It's making big sound. Periyatru is periya ஆறு. அதுல neervadi paduvum punai pola, like a raft that is rushed along this torrential river. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 2000 plus years ago. Look at the philosophical heights of Tamil culture, Sangam culture. Pola aruyir, how much you love your life. Everybody loves their life. Everybody wants to live. Everybody wants to live to be 100 years. Aruyir murayvadi paduvum. It will go the way it is destined to go, whatever you do. There's an element of fate, as an element of stoicism. Can we understand who is going to die among us? Hello, Sabu. we feel, can we know who's going to happen, what's going to happen is we don't know. So முறைவழி படுவோம் என திறவோர், that is திறவோர் means சான்றோர்கள், people who can see or far sighted. திறவோர் தெளிந்தனம் ஆதலின், அவங்களுக்கு தெளிவா சான்றோர் are able to see, they're able to see that this is the fate of life. We can't really make a difference to our fate, we just have to accept it. ஆதலின் மாட்சியில் பெரியோரை வியத்தலும் இளமே. We won't look at somebody and say, hey, he's got Rolls Royce, he's got a plane. There's no point in saying that, because this is the process of life, and we are seeing that played out in terms of corona with us. As I said, மாட்சியின் பெரியோரை வியத்தலும் இளமே, சிறியோரை இகழ்தல் அதனினும் இளமே. We will more surely than that will we not look down on somebody who's less than us and say, they are nothing. And that is the beautiful entire poem. I have spoken on this at இப்போது and just out in இப்போது ஒரு Tamil television Tamil ஊடகம் which gives very very good latest news without any நடுநிலைமையான ஒரு news, without going this side and that side. And they have a wonderful social media channel in which I have spoken about this and many more beautiful Sangam literature about the stoicism of life. And now I look all around me, I'm seeing death everywhere, I'm seeing life going fatalistically, I'm seeing people are not able to predict what will happen. Some people are saying everything is going to die, some people are saying everything is going to be fine tomorrow. The truth is somewhere in between. So I believe honestly that in this point of time to have that stoic, those of you who are free, please Google stoicism, STOICISM. Stoicism is the best, very very best state of mental health to be. And the principle of stoicism is, as Rajinikanth sir said, Rajini said, all things will pass, this too shall pass, இதுவும் தாண்டி போகும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னார் ரஜினி சார் ஒரு லெக்சரில். It is true that with the passage of time, good and bad will all go away. Welcome, Peer. You guys are doing such a wonderful, transparent, good job. That's what the society needs now. So we all have to think that way. Go back to this Sangam literature. Those of you who can read Tamil, go back to that. Or those of you who can't read Tamil, I've said it with the English translation in this Ippodu. The single poem should be like an anthem, like a prayer. It will allow you not to look up at somebody and go green with envy, not to look down at somebody and feel pride, to understand that you or I or our neighbors or our people who are close to us could die at any point of time, and to do what is the best under the circumstances. So beautifully is it. Mudiven இன்னாது என்றலும் இளமே. We will not leave everything and run away. நான் போய் சன்னியாசி ஆயிடுறேன். No, I will stay. I will be a karma yogi. I will fight. This is the promise I give. This is the சூளுரை. This is the உறுதிமொழி that I give to the world, that I will stay. I will do the needful. I won't. And a chap who is born in this kind of Tamil Sangam literature, he won't go and unnecessarily forward something about some school teacher running away with somebody or some with the நீச்சமான விஷயங்கள். We will stay noble. We will look at what is good for the society, and we will go positively. So I would like to conclude my 45-minute talk by telling everybody, do go back and see this again, because that Sangam literature thing, every time I read it, I get tears in my eyes. Though I've read it so many times, because it's such a heightened level of stoicism. Indeed, the latest data that I would like to talk some other time is showing that the Indus Valley civilization, which is 3100 BC to 2700 BC, was nothing but our people from the south who went there and then who came down again. This is the truth. Yes, thank you, Louisa. I think we all, in a time of positivity, in a time of COVID positivity, we all have to be positive.